Hey, subscribe to my channel. I love you.
Car D Kaizoku.
This video is sponsored by Nen Garden. Their latest spring collection just dropped, featuring 3 new designs. My favorite one being the whole cake design. Look at all the details. To celebrate, they're running a spring sale. Buy one and get any classic mat 40% off with code SPRINGSALE. Plus, NEN10 automatically saves you 10% at checkout. And you can stack this with my code Kaizoku for an additional 5% off on top of that. This video is sponsored by gumgum.gg. Discover Western OP10 lists and Eastern OP11 lists on gumgum.gg. Updated daily. Be the first to see decks for new leaders as they emerge. With over 1000 deck lists per set, gumgum.gg has all the top strategies as soon as they drop. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. So Bandai has announced plans for a simultaneous release schedule for all languages in the game in 2026. This is incredibly exciting news. This has been the thing I've been looking forward to the most in this game. Not only that, the French and English versions of the game are getting starter deck 23 to 28 early, actually. We're getting it first? What the heck? So yeah, the rest of 2025 is really going to shake things up. Let's talk a little bit about the repercussions of this though. So first and foremost, with the starter decks releasing early for us, that means we're going to have a completely different OP11 meta than Japan did, right? OP11 is dominated by Blue Purple Luffy in Japan at the moment. We're going to be having Blue Purple Luffy and Green Purple Luffy for that matter. EB02 is coming out too. Plus these 6 new starter decks that could call for like a completely different meta that Japan is experiencing, as we're seeing with our very eyes right now. Right at the moment, yeah, it's all Blue Purple Luffy. It's also seeing a rise in Red Zoro to counter Blue Purple Luffy. He just can't handle that aggression. Who knows what our meta is going to look like with these 6 buffs to these 6 previous leaders. Oh, in case you did it, I was starter deck 23 to 28. I guess I never really talked about it on my channel because not too many cards have been revealed for it yet, but it's going to be buffs to old decks like Red Shanks, Green Bonnie, Blue Buggy, I forgot his name for a second there, Black Purple Luffy, Blackbeard, Black Teach, I guess technically, Green Yellow Yamato, right? These are in the style of the, I forgot the numbers, but the ones for Edward Newgate to Katakuri. What was it, like 15 to 20? I think that's the right number. But yeah, 23 to 28, similar style. It's gonna be potentially what brings a lot of these decks back into the meta. And I say that as if some of these decks aren't already meta, like Red Shanks, Green Bonnie, and Blackbeard right now are currently meta. They're not like oppressive at the moment, but who knows, maybe these additional 3 to 4 cards in each of these starter decks could tip them over into like top meta, best deck in format contender, right? They'll have to compete with Blue Purple Luffy, of course, but yeah, it could be a completely different meta where these decks are on top and whatever decks counter these decks instead of Blue Purple Luffy, who knows? Blue Purple Luffy is quite strong though. And yeah, who knows, maybe these starter decks could also make the Buggy deck or the Black Purple Luffy deck or the Green Yellow Yamato deck top meta as well. We saw that happen in the past with Purple Luffy and Blue Doflamingo. They became like top 4 decks after their starter decks release, right? So there's a precedent set there. It's not out of the realm of possibility that same thing's going to happen here. So yeah, while we can still learn a little bit about the strength of Blue Purple Luffy and Green Purple Luffy ahead of time from Japan, we'll actually have no idea how they'll fare against these potentially new meta contenders. In fact, the rest of the world will be learning from us for a change and what we come up with using these new starter deck cards. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Another peculiar thing is that I think starter deck 22 comes out after these. It's kind of weird, right? 23 to 28 comes out before 22. But yeah, that's what I meant when like 2025 is going to just shake things up completely crazy. I know it says 2026 June release. I think this is incorrect because from this next graphic I'm going to show, it's showing March being our OP10 release and our starter deck 21 release. That's coming out in like a week from when this video is going up. So I'm pretty sure it's talking about 2025. And here we see in May, EB02, that's when that's coming out. And in June, that's when the starter decks come out early for us, released before Japan, and then OP11 in the same month. So yeah, completely different meta. And then it looks like OP12 is coming in August. I don't even know if we're supposed to see this graphic. I don't know who leaked it, but the information's out there. So yeah, Bandai did kind of leave it vague about when in 2026 all the versions of the games are going to sync up. While it would be amazing if it could happen right when 2026 begins, I don't think that is actually feasible just from me taking a look at the release schedules. So I went ahead and mapped it out in like a table here. So yeah, on the left is any OP and EB set from Japan. It looks like in the beginning it was a little wonky where it was like 105 days from OP01 to OP02. Oh, hold on, let me zoom in actually. All right, how's that? That's good, right? How do I make the top go away? Ooh, okay. So yeah, and then from OP02 to OP03, 99 days, OP03 to OP04, 105 days. But after that, it just seems to standardize to 91 days between each set, right? From OP06 to OP07, with EB01 being in the middle, it still adds up to 91 here. The only difference I see here is 08 to 09. But yeah, I'll just use 91 as like the standard amount of days. And then if we project that going into OP17, we'll see that in Japan, OP17 should be coming at the end of August of 2026. That's next year. So I tried to do something similar with the English release. So English is not as uniform. It's kind of like wonky. It's all everywhere. It ranges from like 70 days between sets to like 112, as we see here. So I couldn't really use that 91 day principle to try to kind of estimate. But based on what we know, right? We know that OP10 comes out in 2 weeks on the 21st of March. We know that EB02 comes out in May. Sometime in May, we don't know the exact date. Similarly, OP11 comes out in June. We don't know what date, but in June. So I'm going to try to use 75 days as like an example here, because that kind of fits into sets releasing in March and then in June. And then OP12 is supposed to come out in August, so that fits too, right? 75 days after June 7th is August 20th. So using 75 is that magic number. If we project that into 2026, like the only times that I could see it making sense would be in August as well, in OP17. That would mean that OP13 comes out in November, which I think that is what people are speculating. I think I saw like another leaked release schedule saying that. Yeah, this one here, I saw it floating around. This was from like a couple months back though. So whoever leaked this, I hope you still have your job, but thanks for your service, I guess. It looks like, it says OP12 here. I think it's a typo. This should be OP13. And it lines up with what we saw from the other graphic, right? We see June, OP11, and then the starter decks. So PRB02 in September, starter deck 22 in September, OP13 in November. That lines up with how we kind of mapped it with the 75-day kind of estimation. And that would mean that OP14 comes out on the 15th of January the following year, followed by EB03 in February, and then OP15 in April. OP16 in June, and then finally we sync up OP17 with Japan in August. And coincidentally, this August set, it would be the 4th anniversary for Japan. So it kind of all lines up. It all makes sense, right? It's all the more reason that I think it would be August. The 4th anniversary of the Japanese version of the game is the set that is a worldwide release. Everyone's synced up. So that is my personal leading theory, my hypothesis here. It'd be interesting to see if I'm correct in the end. It makes sense to me, like logistically speaking, and then like even in the marketing sense, right? We'll have enough time between sets. It'll be a little more accelerated. It's 2 weeks less than the 91 days that Japanese sets usually get. But yeah, it'll line up for a 4th anniversary special kind of release that they could do. So yeah, that's my prediction. OP17 is when we're actually going to be in sync. And that does mean it's like more than halfway through the year already. It's nearly September there. But yeah, we'll get it eventually, I think. If it does come out earlier than that, I'd be even more surprised how they pull it off, because even with these predictions, it's still like 70, 75-ish days between sets. I don't know if you can cut it any shorter than that without it feeling like too much product, but who knows. And then the only conundrum is what the Korean version of the game is going to do, because as far as I know, they're like in OP05 right now, as of the recording of this video. So they're 5 sets behind even us. So I don't know how they're going to get to OP17 by August of next year. That's for Bandai to figure out, I guess. I have no idea. Like with the English version, I can kind of speculate this way, but the Korean version, I completely don't know. So yeah, now with the worldwide release, this could also mean that any language printing of a card may become legal in any region. Of course, this would have like very sweeping effects on the One Piece card game market as a whole. As it currently stands, the English version cards are like usually 2 to 3 times as expensive, more expensive than the Japanese version of a particular card. Hell, even like English cards in the US are sometimes like 30% more expensive than the same English card in Europe. As an example, here, I pulled up Altart OP09 9-cost Luffy. He's 1,280 yen, which is like $8.65. On TCG Player, he's going for $37, lowest listed. Generous estimate, make it $9. That is 4 times as much. And then yeah, $37 TCG Player. How much does he cost on Card Market? He is $28. So I think that if English players could start using like Japanese version cards, like a lot of things are going to be completely different. I do think Japanese card prices are going to go up. Meanwhile, English prices are going to probably go down. So that's good for us, but probably not as good for Japanese players. Or even Chinese. I don't know if there's a way to get Chinese cards, but I'm sure like that will affect the prices too, and Korean cards as well. And then this also opens up the scalpers to like product from the rest of the world too. I don't know if that's going to be good for the health of the game. Scalpers scalping Japanese product from America or something. I kind of hope that isn't the case. I hope people in the regions that use the language of that card are still able to get cards for themselves, you know? But at the very least, I wouldn't mind if like the Dawn cards were universal, region free, at the very least, right? This will also be sweeping changes in the content landscape as well. As it stands at the moment, Eastern players really have no reason to watch any Western creators at all, since we're playing a meta that's like 2 to 3 sets behind in the past for them. On a worldwide release schedule, Western content creators may have a chance at gaining new viewers from other regions. That'd be nice. This could pave way to like collaborations and interactions between the regions and the creators as well. That'd be nice, right? I'd love to speak with creators from other regions with my rudimentary Japanese. That'd be pretty fun. Given that like the NA trash talk doesn't sour any like relations that we're trying to build here. But yeah, we'd be moving into unprecedented territory here, where everyone is getting hyped for the same spoilers and previews of the new cards at the same time. We'll be seeing metas develop in parallel between the regions. Who knows what could happen? Maybe things will still be like regionalized and localized, where like aggro is better in certain regions and then control is better in other regions. This is something that we don't really see at the moment, because basically we just get Japan's meta and then like build upon it at the moment. And yeah, we'll finally not be able to use the delayed release schedule as an excuse for either side when we're comparing our competitive scenes too. And that means that we'll be able to have more like international tournaments. We don't always have to wait for worlds, right? You can host impromptu ones. Everyone's on the same set, same meta, same card. So I like that. And yeah, I just can't believe this day is actually coming, because unlike some of my peers on YouTube, Bandai has actually never reached out to me in any way. I don't know if they hate me or something. And yeah, other creators making like the same type of videos. I don't know. I feel like they're getting more views than I am. Like, I don't market myself as like a teacher / mentor or like guide maker. And I don't bring it up often because I don't want to make my channel like a place for like sweat lords to congregate. But despite how few number of tournaments I've entered, I've topped 32 twice, right? I'm not the worst player in the world. I have accomplishments, but I don't seem to have that reputation, and it's probably just because I don't market myself that way. It's my own fault. So yeah, I just hope I'm still here in 2026 and that you guys are still watching me when that time comes, if my YouTube channel will survive that long. Because literally, this is like the thing I've been asking for the most since the start of this game. I've brought this up multiple times. It's a pain point for many people. So yeah, now that we know that it's officially going to be coming next year, I really do hope that I'm still here when that time comes, because it's going to be really exciting for me. I hope it's exciting for you. And yeah, that is it for the video. They could announce more crazy stuff at One Piece Day that warrants a second video. I'm not at the event. I'm at home. I couldn't make it just because of personal reasons, but this helps alleviate the FOMO a little bit. And yeah, I guess that's it. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Check out my other videos. I mainly post gameplay. I don't post news videos too often unless they're like really big ones like this, so that's why I'm making this video. Also, everyone else is at One Piece Day, so I have time to make this video, I guess. But yeah, if you like what you see in this video and want to check out my other videos, I guess, yeah, feel free. I ain't stopping you. Well, I would appreciate it if you watch my other videos too. Please watch them. Okay, yeah, that's it. Bye.
Kaizoku.